Thank you very much, Barry. Hello there. So I spoke with Michael McHale earlier today, and we're focusing on his masterclass, which is tonight at the Ulster Hall, and then his concert, which is on Friday. Now, Michael McHale is a pianist, an all-round terrific musician. Michael, how are you? Welcome.
Hi, thanks. It's great to be here.
So, give us a bit of an insight as to what we can expect tonight. We have a masterclass tonight, and then a concert tomorrow. So, you're juggling quite a few things for the next couple of days, aren't you?
Yeah, it's busy, but it's always great to be back in Belfast, my hometown. And tonight I'm going to have the pleasure of hearing four very talented young pianists from, I think, north and south of Ireland. And they're going to play a range of different music by Beethoven, Chopin, Rachmaninoff, Liszt, and I'll work for 30 minutes with each of the pianists. And I'm really looking forward to it.
You've been billed as a rising star. I mean, I don't know if that's the correct term. I don't know if you like that term, but you've been working with the Ulster Orchestra for quite some time, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I've played with the orchestra maybe 7 or 8 times, and the first time I played, I was still a student over in London. And it was a very exciting experience because, of course, as a kid growing up in Belfast, I used to play in the Belfast Youth Orchestra, and I knew a lot of the members of the Ulster Orchestra from those days, as they would have coached and kind of instructed all the youth orchestra students. So it was a great thrill to come back and to work with them as a professional musician, and I've been very lucky to be invited back many times since then, and it's always a great pleasure.
Yes, so chat to us about tonight's masterclass, first of all. 7:30, I believe, yes?
That's right, yeah. It's down at the Ulster Hall, and I think it's £5 entry, but I think it's free for students and children. And this is basically like an informal lesson, if you like, or something like that. So each of the four pianists will play a piece that they've prepared for me, and then we'll kind of chat about it and discuss different things, and then I can also kind of interact with the audience a little bit too. So it's sort of just like a kind of informal discussion, and hopefully it'll be useful to all four of them.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? I mean, that's the kind of thing, isn't it? Because one of the best aspects of music is to share the love of music and enthusiasm for it. And whenever there's like an open forum like this, it's a great kind of avenue, really, isn't it, to chat to?
Exactly, yeah. Because I mean, each of these pianists, of course, will be working regularly with their own piano teachers. But sometimes, and I find this myself as a student, it can be interesting to just kind of get a fresh pair of ears and a different outlook. And so that's what I hope to provide.
And there'll be quite a wide variety of different repertoire then tonight. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. I think from Beethoven and Chopin through to Rachmaninoff and Liszt, so there'll be something for everybody in there, and a whole range of different ages as well. So it should be very interesting.
And then tomorrow night, Michael, you have a concert which is certainly a great repertoire. It's being billed as music of the future. You've got Wagner, Liszt, and Tchaikovsky. But that's music of the past. But the music of the future aspect, chat to us about that angle.
Well, I think really the kind of the idea there is that, particularly in the first half, the Wagner and the Liszt, at the time these guys were writing in the mid 19th century, this music was really quite radical, and both of those composers are very famous for the kind of inroads they made and the innovations they created, and particularly in terms of harmony, but also in terms of structure, and that's probably particularly true of this piano concerto, the second piano concerto by Liszt, which I'm going to be performing with the orchestra, as it's very different from most people. When they think of a piano concerto, they think of a big first movement, then a beautiful slow movement, and then a fast kind of rip-roaring finale. But what Liszt does is he takes the kind of overall shape of that, but instead of it being broken into 3 parts, it's all connected all the way through. So it's very fluid, and it's almost like little interludes, and it's kind of rhapsodic, and it's almost like a fantasy in a way, and it's a very kind of innovative approach to the piano concerto.
Well, it is a lovely program, and Alan Burbieff is conducting with Obviously, our very own Ulster Orchestra, they'll be on fine form. And there's also a pre-concert talk from Piers Halliwell. So will he be talking with you and Alan?
I think he's going to. That's at 7:00. I think the concert's 7:45. So for the first 50 minutes of the talk, I'll have a quick chat with Piers about the list, and then I think he's going to continue on his own to discuss the Wagner and the Tchaikovsky. So I'll have to get backstage and get my suit on and get prepared.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, start tinkling and stuff. Do you have a piano in your dressing room?
Yes, there's a piano back there. So if I need to warm my fingers up, that's always an option.
Yeah, it's very important. And give us a bit of an idea, Michael, because certainly apart from concert repertoire and your many public appearances, you have a few recordings now. I know that certainly the Irish piano, that there was a CD recently released, is that you've got an arrangement of My Lagan Love on that, haven't you?
That's right. Yeah, I mean it's actually I've made maybe I think about 7, 8, or 9 CDs so far, but this was my first solo CD, so it was a big project for me, and I was very, very excited to do that, and prepared for a couple of years. Really, it was in gestation. So yeah, it was a great thing for me to release this solo album, and it's a total mix of different music inspired by Ireland. And as you mentioned, there's 4 actually of my own arrangements of Irish folk songs on there, as well as classical and contemporary music. So it's a real kind of blend and mix, and I was delighted with how it all turned out.
Yes, and you've been working continually with the Ulster Orchestra's resident composer Ian Wilson a few times, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, and there's a piece by Ian on my CD, and also by another Belfast composer, Philip Hammond. And in fact,
yes.
the next recording I'm going to make is of his complete cycle of miniatures and modulations for solo piano, which was inspired by music from the Bunting collection from the 1796 Belfast Harp Festival. Lots of folk melodies that were written down by this very enterprising chap, Edward Bunting, and Philip has elaborated all of these old tunes and made his own collection. So I think it'll make a very nice album.
No, we'll look forward to that. Terrific. Well, Michael McHale, really pleasure chatting with you. And just a reminder then, so the Masterclass is tonight at the Ulster Hall from 7:30. Do go along, and certainly, I mean, the children are free, and £5 entry fee, and students are free as well. It's not too expensive. And then tomorrow night, the concert is going to be at 7:45 with the pre-concert talk from 7:00. Certainly a wide repertoire of music to a feast for your ears as such. And Michael, thanks for chatting with us.
It's a pleasure. Thanks so much.